Hey everybody, welcome to Found Flicks. One of my personal favorite shows on TV, Ash vs. Evil Dead, finally returned to the airwaves this past Sunday with the triumphant season premiere Family that gives you everything you'd want from an Evil Dead series. From excellent practical gore and scary moments to comedy like Ash's one-liners. The writing overall feeling much sharper than usual. I had feared the worst for the show when season 3 was delayed from its original premiere date last October, and with season 2 the show's already small ratings were eroding, putting even more pressure on the show to perform now. That's why if you're a fan of the show, it's in need of some serious help if we want to see it continue to season 4. And I'm not only saying this because I'm a fan of the show, but because it seems like season 3 is going to be the best one yet. I mean, Ash gets a tank and is fighting an enormous giant monster, and it would suck for the show to get canceled when it's really firing on all cylinders. Most of the show's situation is blamed on piracy, so don't steal the show. Especially because it's easy to get the show legally for free, which will help support it. The easiest way is by watching it on Netflix. Come on, everybody's got a Netflix account, right? Or at least a friend's password. The first 2 seasons of the show are on there now, so start binging. But the best way is by signing up for the Stars app or add-on via something like Amazon Prime. You can get a free trial for a week, binge the show, and then just cancel it. They have both seasons available as well as the new episodes when they come out. If you're wondering, no, I don't work for Stars and they're not paying me or anything like that. I just really like the show. Alright, enough of that crap. Help out if you want, it's appreciated. After the season 2 finale with all of its incoherent time traveling, the show was left in an interesting and certainly unexpected place, with Ash returning from the past, now hailed as a hero by the people of his hometown of Elk Grove. Ash being given respect feels quite out of sorts for the Evil Dead series. But of course there was some behind the scenes shuffling of the episode's story that led to the departure of original showrunner Craig DeGuerro, so it makes sense that things turned out a bit sloppy. It was clear that the show was in need of a retooling or refocusing of its direction after season 2, which definitely felt cobbled together and filled with plots that went nowhere, including the big bad Ball, who was a total waste with no real presence throughout the season. Though I'm not one to argue with chainsaw duels like in the finale, that's for sure. Overall, the show was still good and always entertaining, with season 2's many highlights including the possessed Delta, the return of Ted Raimi as Chet and Henrietta, as well as the Asylum set episode Delusion. Though the first 2 seasons are still good, it feels like with new showrunner Mark Verheiden, the show is finally in the right hands. Someone able to really bring out the best things that we love about the Evil Dead franchise, which are all on display in the breakneck premiere. We pick up sometime after the finale, where Ash has settled in at Elk Grove with his newly appointed hero status, seeing a hilarious commercial announcing the grand opening of his store dubbed Ashy Slashy's Hardware Emporium, providing all your hardware needs from rope and long screws, as well as everything from D to Ildo. Yep, his store is also a sex shop, hardware and pornography. Talk about one-stop shopping. And Pablo has his own little business too, finally opening up his dream restaurant Fish and Chips, seeing him literally selling someone fish as well as a hard drive, as ridiculous as that is. So it looks like things are peaceful for the two with no evil troubling them, but we know that won't last long. Kelly on her own has been continuing the fight against evil and knows the evil will be resurfacing, seeing someone on TV that found the book, intending it to sell it on an antiques roadshow kind of thing, and asks the host about it, who recognizes that it is written in ancient Sumerian and begins to read from the pages, bringing the evil back to our world once more. Nicely done. And even after reading, he realizes what book he's reading from and is like, oh shit, my bad, I brought the evil back. And the evil force arrives, busting its way through the barn doors. Then our evil Ruby that returned from the 80s enters, dressed in all white, strutting through the piles of bodies, retrieving the book from the host, punching him to death. We see what her big plans are with it in a bit, and I mean big. And instantly with the evil back, Pablo is already suffering the consequences, discovering new Sumerian phrases carved into his body. I like that they are continuing to build on Pablo's connection with the book, and it looks like it is developing to a new layer here. Possibly that Pablo could eventually in a way become another Book of the Dead, giving him powers. And we see in the trailer that he somehow contacts his dead Brujo uncle, himself in the process becoming a super Brujo, potentially by channeling or controlling these book powers. Then the evil makes its way to the local high school, targeting Ash's previously unknown daughter Brandy, and taking over the school's mascot Coogie. "Oh no, not Coogie!" I really liked this sequence, which balanced well being scary, like with the blood pouring out of Coogie forming into blood pools that encircle the girls, and also still being hilarious because it's coming from a big furry cougar turned evil with giant claws and fangs and everything. I like the design of what they did here, making this normal thing turned evil. After frantically calling her mother Candace, she makes her way to Ash's store, finding the grand opening in full swing, initially unable to believe that it's really him after all these years. She reveals to him that their daughter is in danger, and of course he believes she has the wrong guy, not remembering their booze-filled love affair from many years back, and also assures her not to worry as Elk Grove is a demon-free zone. But Pablo bursts in showing off his new carvings, thinking she's telling the truth. So Ash reluctantly heads to the school to help the daughter he never knew he had, finally remembering his past along the way with Candace, or Candy as he called her, seen in flashbacks with Ash sporting a mustache and some serious mutton chops. Looking real good. In a hotel room, Ruby begins her plan with the book, opening it to the page we've seen many times showing Ash as the chosen one, and cuts her hand, bleeding onto the pages, chanting and calling for what she deems the Conda Abomino. Well, I don't like the sound of that. And after ingesting her blood, begins to choke, falling to the ground, gasping and writhing, her stomach starting to grow, seeing something moving under her skin. Yikes! So it looks like Ruby's plan is to birth this demon to take out Ash for good, putting him up against the ultimate Deadite. We've seen that she gives birth to this horrible little thing here, and it does kind of look like the big boy's scene as well. So I wonder if that little guy will grow up to be that big thing, which would be kind of cool to see over the season. Ash and the others arrive at the school, and from here on out, the episode is a non-stop series of horror and comedy bliss. Brandy and her friend are hiding in the band room, leading to an insane instrumental Deadite attack. After Ash and Brandy meet, she doesn't even have time to process this bombshell before the lights shut off, and suddenly Rachel has been possessed, seen sitting at the piano singing about Ashy Slashy. She then appears around the room playing various instruments, and then unleashing the instruments themselves, flying through the air on their own, attacking Pablo and Ash. Ash tries to fire at Rachel, upsetting Brandy, not understanding that her friend is no more. In Deadite form, Rachel tells Brandy she loves her, launching a symbol at her head. Pablo intervenes in time to save Brandy, but her mother isn't so lucky, getting decapitated. Well, that's unfortunate. Rachel is then seen at a harp, appearing normal, but Ash knows better, knocking the harp on top of her and stomping the strings through her face, filleting it into pieces. This effect was really awesome, as well as disgusting, and I'm glad to see that they used a practical effect for the head split rather than relying entirely on CG. Hopefully they'll keep that up in future episodes because this was sick. Catching their breath, Ash tries to comfort Brandy about all this crazy stuff that's happened in the past 5 minutes, starting to appear to get genuinely heartfelt with her. But it only lasts a moment as Coogie returns, yanking Ash through the window. Fighting in the hallway, Coogie overpowers Ash, ready to attack. From behind them, a canister is launched into Coogie's mouth. It's Kelly along with new character Dalton, with some incredibly good timing. She shoots the canister, igniting it and taking out the beast. As far as this new guy, we don't really get to know Dalton too well in this episode, as he mainly lurks in the shadows. But we know he is the leader of the Knights of Sumeria, an ancient group who fights evil, and he now wants to team up with the Chosen One, immediately recognizing that Ash is the real deal, bowing before him when they meet. I like that they are introducing this Knights of Sumeria group, and perhaps Dalton knows more about the history of the evil, or even why it is that Ash is the Chosen One, and through him we can see that mythology deepened. But I would also like if he is just kind of a fanboy to Ash, since he is the Chosen One and all. I could see that dynamic being really funny. And with that, the Ghost Beaters are back together, and it feels so good! Reunited in their fight against the newly returned evil. Now with 2 new members, including Ash's newly discovered daughter. I don't mind the addition of her character to the show, even though it feels like her character arc will mirror Kelly's, starting with learning about the evil and eventually becoming a Deadite killing warrior. Even if it feels similar, the way they've introduced their relationship is so funny that I don't care. I like that Ash doesn't even really bat an eye when learning about his daughter, he just rolls with it, even though he's in no position to be a parent for Brandy, who just lost her mother. I'm sure he'll figure out this parenting thing in his own stupid way, and the two will eventually form a bond. And he might even learn her name too, at the end of the episode hilariously offering her a hit from a joint, calling her Sandy. There's lots of stuff wisely already established out of the gate in the premiere, giving us hints about where season 3 is going. So perhaps season 3 will be a bit more consistent story-wise than what we've seen so far from the show. No matter what though, it looks like this is going to be one kick-ass season. And hopefully this won't be the end of Ash and Pal's adventures, and the show can keep going at least 2 more seasons. That seems about right. And even if it does inevitably get canceled, Bruce recently said there is a chance for a new movie to be made. So maybe there's hope to see Ash continue fighting Deadites in some form. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for my Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 premiere review. I don't think I'll be able to do videos on every episode, but maybe I'll do a season review after the finale. Let me know if you guys want to see that. What did you guys think of the season premiere? Did you like it as much as me? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Thanks for watching Found Flicks. See you next time. Stay groovy. Idiot.